Let's go! Is this man right here the best quarterback in the Southeastern Conference? None other than HENDON HOOKER. Well, one thing we do know is if he does beat Alabama for the first time in Tennessee's history since the mid-2000s, he is undoubtedly the Heisman Trophy favorite. But even if he doesn't, up to this point, he has got to be the best quarterback in the SEC because of plays like this, right? Yeah, he could have potentially thrown that dig over the middle, but he makes not one, but two players miss to run for this first down versus LSU. Now, truth be told, LSU did make things very easy on Tennessee with a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but the Volunteers came in on the road and bludgeoned the LSU Tigers. But today, I want to rank the SEC quarterbacks overall. If HENDON HOOKER is number one for me, who are the quarterbacks that are behind him? And I know a lot of us would probably, in a perfect world, if he was still healthy, say Bryce Young, but for me, there is another quarterback who I think is actually ahead of Bryce Young on my ratings right now. Let's get to it. Let's go. Boom. I'm looking at you. Yes, you right now. So, I tried to tell you before the season about Stequavius Stetson Bennett to put some moolah down on his Heisman odds because they were so distant, right? And there was another player I told you to actually put some Heisman money on, HENDON HOOKER. And now two of these guys are in pole position to potentially win this award if they continue playing at the level that they are playing. So give Stetson a lot of credit for this 4.5 speed. Stequavius showing off the legs with the fresh taper fade, baby. Can't see it, of course, with this helmet on. But for me, Stetson and HENDON HOOKER have been the two best SEC quarterbacks up to this point. My number 3 quarterback is someone that is currently hurt, and that is none other than KJ Jefferson. I know I should have Bryce Young in my top 3, but now that he's missed a game and a half and Alabama is still winning with Jalen Milroe, I'm going to put Bryce Young number 4 behind KJ Jefferson. I do think Bryce Young is a better quarterback than KJ. I don't think anybody would disagree with that, but I don't think there is a single quarterback in the SEC that has to carry more weight than this guy. And we saw what happened when Arkansas did not have them this past weekend versus Mississippi State. Now, I'm going to be interested to see if KJ can go this weekend versus BYU, and I'm going to be interested to see Malik Hornsby take complete control of the offense. But KJ Jefferson, because of plays like this, is a big reason why I have him number 3. Now, truth be told, the Texas A&M fumble ended up being the biggest play of Arkansas' season up to this point. But in pretty much every game that KJ Jefferson plays, he makes a play such as this one where, obviously Rocket Sanders did a lot of the work here, but KJ just forcing his will on the defense just shows me a lot of moxie from this kid. So for right now, up to this point, I'm going to put KJ Jefferson as my number 3 quarterback. You can make the same argument for Will Levis as far as the team falls apart when he's not there. We saw it this past weekend with Kentucky losing to South Carolina, but I just feel KJ's been a better quarterback than Will Levis up to this point, okay? And one more thing I like about KJ is Arkansas's defense has been straight up hideous. I think their offensive line has really struggled in recent weeks, and we've seen a lot of these kinds of plays from KJ where he is just making a lot of people miss in the pocket. And then when you get to the bottom of this list, you get into the Brady Cook, Jaden Daniels, Anthony Richardson portion of this list. It's kind of hard to choose between Jaden Daniels and Anthony Richardson who's been better. I think Richardson by far has been the bigger disappointment after that Utah performance, but he is starting to read the game better. They do get explosive plays from Anthony Richardson in the passing game, and LSU's explosive play offense right now is simply doing nothing. Now, I will say that Jaden Daniels is the best running quarterback, as in the football in his hands past the line of scrimmage, scrambling. He's probably the best in the SEC, either him or Jalen Milroe. You can make a case for KJ as well. But, I would probably put Jaden as the best runner. It's just the throwing aspect of football has been really brutal for LSU, despite them having arguably the most talented group of receivers in the SEC. So this matchup between LSU and Florida this weekend will be huge for both of these quarterbacks in for their future, not only at the college level, but potentially at the next level, in particular for Anthony Richardson. Because after that Utah game, there were a lot of NFL teams salivating over this young man's athleticism. So I am going to be interested to see what these two young men do against each other this weekend. But for the most part, my list is where it is. And I know Spencer Rattler is really low on there. Good win on the road versus Kentucky, but I need to see more before I move him up my QB rankings. Bam! I'm looking at you. Yes, you. I know you've already subscribed. We are trying to get to that 1K subscriber mark. And look, I know there's going to be some Bryce Young hate coming my way, not having him in the top 3. But look, that's mainly because he's missed this game and a half due to injury. Hopefully him, KJ, and everybody gets back healthy pretty soon. I mean, Will Levis definitely has a thing or two to say about my list as well. So obviously comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. I will say this drive versus Texas was probably the drive of the year. So we shall see what happens when him and Hendon Hooker go head-to-head this weekend. I hope Bryce is fully healthy, ready to go. I feel pretty good about KJ getting back to health. But, man, this play right here, this wasn't even really his best play. Avoiding the safety earlier in the half of this game was even crazier. But, man, this dude just knows how to make plays when it matters the most. And what's really interesting about Bryce is, Saban is known for blowing out his opposition, but Bryce Young has had to win a lot of games in close fourth quarter situations, which really shows me a lot about this kid. And he very well could be the best quarterback to ever play at Alabama. Now, that will definitely, raise some eyebrows. But if Bryce gets healthy and he runs and makes a run for the national championship, better watch out. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. It is Power Hour SEC. Bam! And tonight, we're doing some calzones. Chicken Florentine. Let's go.